guys, welcome back. I'm Abby.
And I'm Bailey.
We're going to jump right in with our catch up this week. We've got a special episode coming up for you. But my catch up, my grandparents came home this week, which I know. So that's been really fun. It's been a lot to adjust to living with other people again.
Right, because you've been by yourself for a while.
I know, a long time. Tonight they're out watching my cousin's soccer game, which is why the house is quiet. But that's been really fun. So it's been a super, super busy weekend and like crazy time for me with them coming home. It was my other grandma's birthday. So my uncle was in town and our family all went out to dinner together. Or the adults did, and I'm an adult now, so I get to go.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
So exciting.
I still feel sometimes like I'm 16 or 17, you know?
Oh, I get
You're
that.
like sitting with your parents and your grandparents, and you're like, how old am I again? Actually, I'm not going to go into the whole story, but when we were out, our waiter was so animated, like so crazy animated, and he was young. Was not cute, but young. And my family and like grandparents and uncle were all like, ooh, should we ask him if he's single? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, like I will literally hurt you all.
Please
I
don't.
was like every time he would come over, I would like stare at something in my lap because I was like, do not talk to me.
Because it's like, I also you don't want him to be like, oh, she's interested in me because you're not.
Even like just the eye contact, I couldn't.
No,
anyways,
I get that.
Then it's my brother's, I think 13th birthday next week, but we celebrated on Saturday. And so all the grandparents came over and both of my sisters from out of town were here. And so that was super fun. And it made for a very busy but family filled, like fun weekend. And oh my gosh, started the Throne of Glass series, right? I read book 1 and book 2, and the amount of times as I'm sitting reading this book that I'm like, oh my gosh, like just things that are happening. If you like fantasy and like the underlying, like the romance that goes through a story, but like that goes along with the story, you know, it's not like main romance, it's fantasy, but
right,
so good. And there's this love triangle thing that's happening. And every, like, little while, I switch which guy I want her to be with. And I just can't tell which one and why. And it's getting better and better and better.
That's so good.
I know. Anyways, that's mine.
I feel like I haven't done a lot. We are still in the middle of TCAP testing. And so my kids take their math one tomorrow. I mean, they only test for a total of 4 days, but it's within these 2 weeks. They take their math one tomorrow, and that's the one I need them to do good on.
Right. Have you been doing the testing in your classroom? You've been administrating it?
Yes. So I administer for my homeroom.
Okay.
So I do it only 4 days that they do it, but I only get to test my homeroom.
Okay.
Even though I teach 2 math classes. So it's a little nerve-wracking that there's a whole class that I teach that I'm going to get scored on that's not in my presence. Right. So, but it's going to be great. They're almost done. We have 5 weeks left of school, and they're going to be the 5 longest weeks of my life.
For real. I'm counting the days down. I have 27 days left.
Oh, that means I must have less than that.
Yeah, probably.
So that's just so exciting that we're getting close, but also so far away.
Yeah, I know.
And this weekend, I didn't really do much. It was really nice weather this past week, like 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And then this weekend, it got chilly.
I know. The weather's doing
It went back down
stuff.
to like 60. So I was like, oh, on my day off, when I could spend all day outside, it's back to 60, which is still warm. But like once you've had 80, it's chilly.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. I'm about halfway through now my book, Court of Thorns and Roses, and very good, very good. The romance is starting a little bit, like they're like getting feelings for each other. So it's getting cute, I think. So I'm excited about that. Halfway through, I'm hoping to have it done by next week.
You can
we'll
do
see
it.
how much time I have this week.
You could so do it.
I could definitely if I sat down and read it. So
if I sat down
other than that, I have right. Other than that, I don't think I really did anything that much this week. Not that I can recall.
Wow.
Oh, we went to a high school baseball game on Friday
Oh, that's fun.
to go watch some of Jacob's students play
I
baseball.
went to my cousin's
and
soccer
my
game,
coworkers were there, so I had a really good time hanging out with them.
at the random. Do you like that, running
the
into
high
coworkers
school?
at random places?
Yes, because this is my co-teacher
Okay.
and then another 5th grade teacher who I'm good friends with, so it was fun.
Okay,
to
I
sit with
feel
them
like
and
it's
chat.
always awkward because you know how you have friendships in one specific scenario,
Right.
and then you see those people outside of that place, and you're like, I don't know what to talk to you about anymore.
See, the weird thing is I feel as though my life is that little town. So anyone that lives in that little town feels like a section of my
Right.
life. So
Okay.
whether it's in church or school, or if I'm seeing them in that area, it feels like they're staying contained in the right
That
section,
makes
so it doesn't
sense,
feel
yeah.
weird. Yeah. All right. That's all I really had this week.
Wow. Okay. Well,
I know.
to our listeners, we are so excited for you to jump into our topic this week. We're skipping our history so that we can really give our time to our guest coming.
Right.
We lived with Rachel in college, and
Yes.
we really wanted to bring her on because she has had the most fun past year or so of life. She's
Right.
traveled all over the place, and we'll be asking her a bunch of questions about her travels, and hopefully we'll get more of the story. I haven't heard really anything about her travels aside from her social media posts.
No.
Have you?
No, I have not talked to her since she's been gone or come
Yeah,
back.
neither have I. So this will be so fun for us all.
It's gonna be a little catch up, like a little mini WoHo reunion.
right.
WoHo was women's house in college.
Yes. All right. Well, enjoy.
Hi, Rachel. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Stop giggling. This is so fun, guys. Okay.
So fun.
We're super happy to have Rachel on the podcast. Rachel spent 504 days traveling all over the world. She has 205 signatures in her travel journal and has been to 14 countries. So, our first question for you is, tell us more about why you decided to go on your travel experience and how all that happened.
First of all, I think it's so cute that you just quoted my Instagram. I love that. That was
Thank
adorable.
you. I did my research, everybody.
I know.
She was very excited about it.
I was like, oh my gosh, look at all the stuff she knows about me. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's all I know. I actually know nothing else.
Oh, cool. I'll tell you. So a couple of years ago, once upon a time, I studied abroad when I was in college for a semester. And when I was there, I'd go on like little weekend trips and stuff to other countries. And it really made me love traveling. So after that, I just like started going to a bunch of places. Like even like when I was working, I just like random weekend trips across the states and stuff. And I visited Australia after I graduated from college. I was like working in a bakery and just like traveling for probably like 6 months or something. And I went to Australia for like 2 weeks and I really loved it there. And I wanted to do something like where I got to go back and live and like work abroad or something. And they have this program called the Working Holiday Visa. So I had known about that for like 3 or 4 years pretty much before I got the chance to do it. And then like once COVID was over, like it just like all lined up and I was able to go.
That's so fun because I remember, and Bailey and I were talking about this before, but when we were in college, you used to always talk about how you would be in Australia someday and like you were going to go there.
Yay, so cool. And I made it twice.
I know. So wait,
Right.
the first time you went, it was after you graduated just to like travel for fun?
Yeah, just bopped on over. My sisters and I were going to do a trip somewhere and we found tickets for $500, which is crazy. And so
Yeah.
the entire trip,
Oh, wow.
the entire trip was like 2.5 weeks maybe, and it cost me like $2,000, which is like absurd because usually a plane ticket
Right.
is like $1,200 to like $1,500.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that was crazy.
That's a great deal.
I want to know, did you know anybody before you showed up in Australia with your little travel holiday work visa, whatever it's called?
I knew 2 people. Did I know 2 people? I think just 2 people. There's this one guy that I studied abroad with. I met him in Spain and he was in Sydney. So I went and hung out with him. He's really cool. His name is Ranjit. And we hung out with him the first time I was there and I got to see him again when I went back. And when we went there, we went to the Kuranda rainforest when I was there with my sisters. And there's this guy that we met who like did all these crazy things. Like he like pretended to like take off his thumb and whatever. And we like when he was like stopping our tram, and he was like the weirdest, like most random person I've ever met. And so then I like we literally only talked to him for like 5 minutes, and then we got his Instagram, and then like so like a couple of years after I messaged him, I was like, "Hey, I'm coming to Australia. I'm not sure if you remember me." And he gave me like the most insane amount of tips. Like he gave me like paragraphs and
Oh
paragraphs of
wow.
stuff.
I
Remember
him.
Yeah.
I do. Because I remember you were messaging him when we still lived together,
Really?
I think. Or
Yeah.
maybe when we got together to hang out at some point
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
probably. Yeah. So I got to see him again. That was crazy. He taught me to fire spin, so that was cool. And he's equally as random and crazy in person. We stole chicken off of someone's plate and ate it together. And that's how I knew we were going to be good friends.
The most random things that you say in the stories you have crack me up. So if I just start laughing in the middle of you talking, I'm so sorry. It's
I
not
can't
me
wait.
trying to be rude. It's just because
Oh yeah, me too.
you make
Cool,
me
cool,
laugh.
cool. Yay, that's so exciting.
All right. So you said that you went over there with like a work visa.
Mhm.
Is that what it is? What was it called?
The working holiday visa.
And so, what kind of jobs did you do while you were over there?
So I actually worked 6 jobs when I was there.
Oh,
Is that true? I think that's true. So the first job I worked was I was working in a restaurant in this town called Lorne. It was like this little like surf town. It was really fun. I had a bunch of like backpacker friends and stuff. And it was just like a really chill restaurant. I was allowed to wear my Crocs there. Or well, I wasn't really allowed, but I wore them and no one ever said anything. Um, so like very chill job. And then I also worked at the surf cafe for like 2 weeks. It's super trash. I didn't really like it. And so I quit. I like stood in line because it was
what was so bad about it?
I got yelled at for talking one day, and like, which is fine,
Oh.
but like, all my coworkers were like 14 years old and stuff, and I was like, I'm an adult, like, I don't want to be doing this. And so, but it was really busy, and it was hard to get a hold of my boss. So one day, I literally just like stood in line, and I went to the register, and I was like, hey, like, I never got my roster for next week, and she's like, oh, I'll get it for you, and I was like, okay, and I was like, also, this isn't really working out for me, so I'm gonna quit. And she was like, okay. And then later on, she texted me. She's like, "Hey, don't worry about next week. I have enough staff. Like, you're all good." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And yeah. And then I also worked as a bartender in a bakery, another restaurant, and that might be it.
In your working holiday visa, did you have to be working to be there?
No, you don't have to. So technically, like, I had enough savings. I didn't really have to work when I was there. Kind of like it was good that I did, and that allowed me to go to Europe and stuff. But like, you don't have to. The one restriction.
Okay, we were going to ask you about that.
Oh,
We were
yeah?
going to ask you, like, how you funded your whole trip. 'Cause how
Yeah.
long were you officially gone for?
17, I don't know, hang on, let me do the math. 12 months, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 months, I think.
Okay, yeah. Because we were like, how do you figure out, like, just me, when I think about traveling,
Mhm.
like, I go through all the money, expenses, and everything I'm going to spend and how I'm going to whatever.
Mhm.
So you'd saved up previously to go to Australia, and then when you were working there, that's how you, like, were able to go to Europe after?
Yeah, because like I had a bunch of savings, and also their minimum wage is like 20 American dollars, which is crazy. That's
Oh.
really high. And so I pretty much like, I didn't really dip into my savings that much when I was there. Like I maybe used like
Right.
$5 or $7,000 or something, which like I'd saved up a lot. And so it was like, you know,
Mhm.
that was okay. And it's not really like quite as expensive as people kind of make it out to be sometimes. Flights are the most expensive, but if you're staying in hostels and stuff, like it's really not too bad. Plus,
Yeah.
like I'm just like naturally frugal in general. Like
Mhm.
I'd eat a lot of potatoes and avocado on toast and stuff, and so it's just like I don't really spend money on like crazy stuff. So
Yeah. This is so fun. I feel like
this is so fun.
I every single time I would see the pictures you'd post on Instagram, I'd be like, ugh, I just wish I was with her.
Oh,
Like,
you should come
if
visit.
I
Do
ever
you guys want to do a trip together?
Dude, oh my gosh,
That would be
please,
so
can
fun.
It'd be so
For
fun.
real,
100%. Do you guys want to?
Yes.
Okay.
I would love to.
All right. Are you free this summer?
Like, you would know. You got to give me more advance notice than that. Like, I got
Yeah.
to
This
save up
summer.
travel money.
I got it.
Girl, no, my summer is booked. And also, like, I'm
Booked
not
and
kidding.
busy.
I'm actually not kidding. And, on my teacher salary, I need to,
Plan it out.
save
Yeah.
up for a little while.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I've thought to myself over the past year, if I'm going to travel anywhere abroad, I need to go with Rachel.
Bring me. I would
Right.
love that.
Because you know where to go, you know how to do it. You speak Spanish if we need that.
Heck yeah. Perfect.
You know.
We'll go to South America together.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
All right. I have a question.
Okay.
How much luggage did you bring around with you?
I made a mistake and no one should ever do what I did. I had so much stuff with me. I don't recommend what I did at all. So I had a backpack and a suitcase, and for a while I had a duffel bag. And so like my suitcase was like the like carry-on luggage size, but it was like full. And then my duffel bag was like also carry-on size, but also full. And so it was like it was nice to have all these options and stuff, but it was like way too much stuff. And so I like had that for a while. It was nice because like I would settle. Like I like would live for like 3 or 4 months in a place. And when my sister came, I like gave her a bunch of my clothes to take home. So that helped because then I was going to Bali and I like definitely only wanted like a suitcase and a backpack. But I think if I could do it again, I'd probably just like do the same amount, but like have nothing in my backpack and then just like a suitcase, you know, and then no duffel bag. But it's nice because you can pack a duffel bag and like have it. It's like one of those ones that folds down flat. Because then you can use that to bring home souvenirs at the end. So that's what I did at the very end of my trip.
Oh, that's really smart, actually.
Yeah, I think my sister gave me that idea. And it was helpful. It was really handy.
I want to know about your travel journal.
Oh my
Right?
gosh.
I mentioned that at the beginning, but I just want to know, like, when did you decide to start the travel journal? Was it with you the whole time? Like, all your ideas behind that.
Gosh, I wish I'd brought it because it's literally the coolest thing ever. But so thankfully I got the idea like 3 months into my trip. I met this girl from France and she did it too. And so literally she had me sign her travel journal. And then that same day I went out and I got a travel journal. I was like, I'm stealing your idea. And she's like, okay, great. And so thankfully that was the first place I'd really settled in like Australia. So I'd been there for like 3 months already. So I got like most of my friends to be able to sign it. Some of them had already left. But by the time I was leaving there, I think I already had like 30 signatures. But then it was so handy and like it was so cool. I met people from all over the world. People signed it in a bunch of different languages. Like there's Portuguese, Spanish, Greek, or not Greek, Thai, German, Croatian. Like there's just like tons of random stuff in there. Someone drew a picture of me in my Crocs.
That is so cool.
It was so cute.
That's so fun.
It was cool. That was like literally the best thing I've ever done. If anyone's ever traveling, that's what I've been telling them to do.
Yeah.
So what exactly is it? Like you just have people sign it that you meet?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like people that I actually have like a meaningful interaction with. Like it's not just like, you know, they were in my house room and that's it. You know, I actually like have to have like a day with them or something. And it depends on like what they want to write. I'm always like, you can write whatever. So some people will like write like what we did. Some people have written like little jokes and stuff. But a lot of times it's just like a summary of what we did and like inside jokes, and like people draw pictures. There was one time I went to an island and we brought a pineapple just like because we were like, oh, this will be funny. And so we like put little sunglasses on it and stuff. And so my friend drew the pineapple in it. His name was Pete. So we drew Pete the pineapple.
Why are you the most random funny person ever?
It's so cool because I met the coolest people who like went along with it too though. So
yeah,
that
is nice.
Yeah, so it was fabulous. Then you, okay.
You went to 14 countries.
Yeah.
Right? You started in Australia.
Yeah.
You may not be able to remember the order or like everywhere you went. But like I don't know, what places did you go?
So I do remember, and it was a lot of places. Do you want all of them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
So,
I really do.
All right. So I did the whole East Coast and the whole West Coast of Australia. And then after that, I flew to Bali. I was going to do Southeast Asia for a couple months, but I wasn't really vibing with it. And so then I called my friend and I was like, man, I don't really want to be here that much. And she was like, well, like, why don't you go to Europe instead? Like, they're about to have the Christmas markets and stuff. And I was like, genius. And so I found a cheap flight to Greece. It was like $400 or something crazy. And then so I went from Bali to Greece. I had a little layover in Singapore. And then I went from Greece up to Munich, over to Salzburg in Austria, and then down to Hallstatt, back to Germany, over to Paris to fly home for Christmas, and then back to Paris, went to Normandy, down to Spain for a month, up to Nice, over to Italy, back to Germany, the Czech Republic, back to Munich because I lost my travel journal, so I had to go back. I was going to keep going through the Czech Republic. It's devastating.
I want that story in a minute.
Yeah. And then up to the Netherlands, Belgium, England, Scotland, Ireland, home, I think. That was pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing all of your different little Instagram photos when they would pop up with the location of where you were.
Yeah.
And most of the time I didn't totally know,
Mm-hmm.
but I've gotten super, super into soccer the
Oh,
past
cute. Look at
year
you.
and a half or
Sporty
2
little
years.
Abby.
I know, right? And so because of that, I knew a bunch of the towns you were in because of
cool.
soccer teams.
That's fun.
So you were in like, I can't even remember where you were, but there was some towns in Spain you were in. I was like,
Barcelona.
oh my gosh, I know. Well, Barcelona, yeah, but there was some other small town in Spain you were in at one point.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's really small, but in my mind, it's small.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure, like, Italy, I've been watching the Italian league this year, too.
Mhm.
I know. I'm
That's
just.
so fun. You're so sporty.
know.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Who do you go for?
But, who do I what?
Go for. And
Oh, like, who do I
like who's your
in
team?
which league? In England, in Italy.
You have multiple teams you go for?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
In England, I like Arsenal.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It's because my brother-in-law likes them, and that's the team that he first introduced us to.
Okay, cool.
And then in Italy, I like Milan, but really the reason I like them is because of they have a couple of U.S. players
Woohoo.
that play for them.
Nice. A true patriot.
Yes, that's me.
That's cool. Wow. Yeah. I went to a soccer game at one point. Was it Valencia by any chance? The other team in Spain you're thinking of? I went to one of their games. It was so fun. It was crazy.
That's awesome. Soccer stadiums, and I've never been to one. I've been to some in the U.S., but those are just so chill.
Yeah.
When you watch soccer games on that are in another country, over in Europe,
Yeah.
you can hear them chanting the entire game.
It's crazy.
And you're that's what it's like here.
For soccer?
And I went to one in Nashville, and the whole time, it was almost like a high school or college student section. They just had these people beating drums and leading chants the whole entire game. They didn't stop.
Interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Some
That's
of the
so
ones
fun.
in England are so so funny and so interesting and actually quite vulgar, but they really are. They're bad. They're really bad, but they're kind of funny.
That is fun. I love those chants.
I know. What? You just listed all the countries.
Yeah.
What was your favorite country, or if you don't have one, what was your most unique experience?
That's a great question. So overall, my favorite country was Australia. I really loved it there. It was super fun. I met really great people. I learned to surf and stuff. And then for my little Europe adventure, probably, I think Belgium was the most surprising country. It was really, really, there's just so much to do there, and it was really pretty. They love chocolate and beer and stuff, and it was just cool little vibe. And then Spain in general is really fun because it's you just stay up late, hang out with people, then you wake up late and take a nap during the day. That's totally my vibe of lifestyle. So, yeah. So those are probably my three biggest.
Is
And
my turn?
to go on. Should I keep going on?
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
I don't really have anything to go on, but I can tell you one of my most random Australia stories, maybe.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Give us
Please
all the
do.
stories, Rachel. Like, give us any and all stories you
That's
know
what
are
we're
interesting
wanting.
and
Oh,
fun.
cool.
Like, my next question was just going to be, what's your best memory? Like, what is the best
Oh my
story
gosh.
that you
Okay, I have a bunch. Um,
have? Okay,
so for
perfect.
so for Australia, one of the funniest things was they have these things called cane toad racing. Do you guys know what a cane toad is?
What?
No.
It's like this really, really fat, ugly frog.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
Yeah,
Like, is it big or small?
they can get really big. Like,
Cane
Oh.
toad, as in
Like the size of a baby?
maybe like the size of like uh, a monkey baby, if you can envision
a
that.
monkey baby. Wait. Should I Google? They live 10 to 15 years in the wild.
Oh, that's crazy.
They're-
actually.
Wait. Cane toad size?
Yeah,
Should I? 6 to 9
Yeah.
inches in length.
pretty big.
I'm looking at a picture of a woman holding one,
Hmm.
and it's definitely looks like a chicken size.
Chicken's a good example. Yeah, so they can get
It
pretty
looks
big.
like a if you buy a rotisserie chicken at the store, that's what it kind of looks like, but just a
Oh,
little bit.
okay.
But
That's a
like
good
maybe
visual.
double, like a very large rotisserie chicken. Maybe like a turkey actually.
Ooh,
Like it
Turkey
looks like a
feels
Thanksgiving turkey.
yeah, they
Maybe
can
a little
get
smaller than that.
somewhere between a turkey and a chicken. Sorry, I'm just
Okay,
plugging
I
my
actually
phone in.
don't know what I'm talking about at all. You can tell your story now.
All right, now that we all know about cane toads, but yeah, they have a so actually they're kind of pests in Australia. Like they were introduced and they eat a lot of the like local like bugs and maybe small like what mammals and stuff. Um, but so they have these things called cane toad racing. And so they take these cane toads and they'll like put little like rubber bands on them to show like what color and whatever, and then they race them. So whoever's like cane toad gets out of the circle first, like wins, and you're supposed to bet on them. And so I went to one that was like they were betting on them, but these people were like betting them up over like $200. I was like, "There's no way I'm betting $200 on a
wow.
frog." It was crazy. They were some
What
bougie
the
people.
heck?
But they had one called Purple People Eater, and I'd been cheering for him the whole time. And then they did a speed run where it was like you could each section got like a color they were allowed to vote for, and it was $35. And so like it got to my section and it was purple. So I was the first one to shoot my hand up, and then I got it. And I was like so excited for him. I had to go get cash out of the ATM. It was like $35 to bet on him or something, but I was so excited. And he ended up winning, and so it was so cool. Little purple people eater. So then after that, I had to go up in front of like hundreds of people and like claim my frog. I had to hold it, and you're supposed to kiss it. So I had to give it a kiss in front of all these people. But I won $100. I know,
$100? That's pretty
I
good.
know. And I found out later that they spit poison. So I don't know why they had us kiss them.
Wait, what? Like, what kind of poison?
Like poison, like bad poison, probably.
Right? Does it like is it gonna kill you?
I don't know. It probably wouldn't be the best for you.
Why would these experiences only happen to you?
I don't know, but that was
Like-
the best day of my life. I was so excited. And
Wow.
I guess sometimes too they have it where like they'll be on a table and it's the first one to jump off the table. So they give you like these party blowers. So you're like blowing your party blower to try to get your frog to jump off. But mine wasn't
I'm
like
trying
that.
to like imagine what kind of facility are you at during this? Like, is it just like folding tables on the side of the road, or are you in like a nice building?
I was in like an average to moderate building. It was like a hotel, I think, that had it. But it was like a big outdoor section.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. I was on the
Okay.
I was in this place called Magnetic Island, which is like an island off of Australia.
Are these races really common in Australia?
Yeah. in up north they are. Like northeast Australia.
So it'd be like a normal Saturday night activity.
Yeah. Isn't that hilarious?
Okay.
And so I was so
That
excited.
is
Yeah,
so funny.
Yeah. So I
That is crazy.
super specifically sought it out. I like brought a whole big group of people with me. I was like, let's go to the K-toad racing, and they're like, what is that? And I'm like, come with.
Huh.
How?
I guess we have dog racing,
Yeah.
That's true.
but that's not quite as weird, I don't think.
They have turtle racing
Maybe I
in
just
Chicago.
believe that because we're from here.
That's true.
Oh. Our county fair always had baby pig racing.
I would love that.
They'd have to swim. They would like swim. It was so cute.
a little triathlon.
We didn't bet on them though.
Oh, they were just having fun.
Because they were just having fun.
That's cute.
How would you find out about these little things? Like I'm assuming you went to more things than just like the cane toad racing, and you found out about other weird things that were happening wherever you were.
Yes.
But
Um, some of them was like word of mouth. People would like tell me this stuff.
mhm.
Like there's like a big mango in Australia you can go visit, a big banana, all these like really big things. Um, there's this rat museum you could go to in Brussels, and I was so sad. I mistimed it, so I wasn't able to go. But it's literally like you go
Oh.
into the
Oh.
like sewers and pretend to be a rat, pretty much. And I was so excited to go to
Wait,
it, but I couldn't. So it's just like I don't know how I found out about that stuff, but all the weird stuff I found out about.
What is the weirdest thing you did?
Ah, did some weird stuff. I organized I organized a potato crawl when I was in Munich, and so I like you could so in Hostel World there's like a group chat feature, so you can like message people and be like, hey, anyone want down to do this? And so I was like, hey guys, anyone want to go on a potato crawl tonight? And everyone was like, what is that? And we just like went around the city and tried a bunch of potato dishes, and it was so fabulous.
oh.
And so that was a fun little one. I don't know if that's the weirdest, but it was a bit strange because everyone was like, what is that?
Well, how many people did you get to go with you?
3. I
How
was
did you like? It was this group chat in the for the hostel you were staying at, like
for
right
anyone in
then.
that city.
Oh,
Is it
Yeah.
an app?
It's an app, yeah. So when you book a hostel, you get access to the group chat for that individual hostel and also for the entire city. So people would
oh,
be like, "Oh, hey,
Oh.
I'm going here. Anyone want to join?" So like you can meet people through that and stuff, which is pretty cool. And so I'd use that quite a bit. Yeah,
that's kind of fun to just like meet people. Although then you probably got some interesting personalities and
yeah. It was strange
random people.
with that one. I got nervous at the end because it was like you don't really know who you're meeting, so you like kind of at the end
Right.
are just like. But it's like it generally always worked out, and if not, it was just like you can hang out with people for a night, and that's fine. But
Yeah.
I did one when I was
Did it ever make you anxious?
no. Eh,
No.
if I would have if it was just like me and one person probably, but as long as there's a couple
Okay.
people, everyone's probably pretty chill.
That was one of
So
our other questions with like I want to go back to fun stories later because I'm sure you have more.
mm,
But that was one of our other questions because I tend to be an anxious personality, right?
mm,
Like I'm just at the point where I can go to Nashville and like not get nervous just going to Nashville and getting through the airport and like getting where I need to be. Which
mm,
sounds so silly in the grand scheme of like where you've traveled, you know, but
mm.
I just haven't traveled that much in my life. So, uh did you ever get to points where you were like really nervous or like scared or like freaked out by somewhere you were or people you were with or like just because you were solo traveling and just met people like as you went? So,
Yeah. Um, the people I met were never really that sketchy. I feel like there were some people that I like saw that I like didn't interact with, kind of thing. Like people that I just knew were
mm-hmm.
like maybe bad news. Um, the worst, not it wasn't even the worst, but like because when I was in Bali, it was like that was a place I didn't really love being by myself because like I've been by myself in like tons of places, you know. But there, it's just like I got like a weird vibe, which like tons of people
Mm-hmm.
backpack Southeast Asia and are fine, like even girls. But for me, it was like I never really felt good like walking by myself at night. People were like really up in your face and stuff, and
Yeah.
then. I had like a sketchy experience getting a massage because like everyone goes there to get massages and they're like really cheap. Mine was like $8. But I like noticed there was like a camera in the corner and I was like red the whole time. I didn't notice until like halfway through. But it was like so basically then I like that where they were recording me at this like sketchy massage place and I like asked them about it and they're like, "Oh, the camera
Oh.
doesn't reach you." But then like afterwards the camera wasn't red anymore. So it was like I feel like I know it was a camera that was recording.
Yeah.
And so
Oh.
there's just a couple little things like that. So I was like, maybe I am gonna leave Southeast Asia. But I would go there with friends, I think. Like
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would go back
Just not alone
with
again.
people. Yeah, maybe not alone again. So that was probably the place I got the
Pointers.
most. And like it's fine. People do it all the time and they're fine. And like
Yeah.
I wish maybe I'd given another country to go, but also it was so hot and I was so sweaty and I don't really like the heat. And I was like, I'm just gonna go to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So
I did not know they were known for massages.
yeah, because you can get they're known for like doing luxury stuff like really cheap. Like you can rent a villa for like
Oh, okay.
$250 a night or something, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
and like their hostels are like, like $3 to like $10 a night. Meals are like $1, so it's
Oh,
really really
wow.
cheap.
Wow.
That is cheap.
So I wish I liked it. I would have saved a lot of money, but that's
For
okay.
real. Like,
Yeah.
you said something that made me think of a question, and now I can't remember what I wanted to know more about.
Massages?
Hmm.
No.
Was it at least a nice massage?
No, it was so aggressive. She was putting me in all these like weird poses and stuff. It was like it was, I don't know. I was a bad experience.
I got really into The Amazing Race a little while ago.
Mhm.
Okay, and so I was watching. I think I watched 3 seasons of it.
Yeah.
And in one of the episodes, they're in, I don't know what country, okay, but I'm pretty sure it was somewhere Asia.
Mhm.
And one of the challenges or one of the things they get to choose which ones they did. And I think one of them was like they got to be taught some sword fight and they had to memorize the whole thing.
That's fun.
Or they had to go get a massage.
Mhm.
And the massage lasted for 30 minutes and they couldn't stop the massage. And the
Ooh.
massage ladies were like twisting and pulling their bodies in all these ways that did not look like they should be.
Oh. And they stuck it out.
Oh, yeah, they had to. But
Oh.
yeah, that's
what
what
they
I'm
chose.
picturing as you're talking about your massage.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. It was unpleasant.
Yeah.
So,
That's sad.
yeah. But it'd be like that. And I went somewhere else. So, because now I'm
Adapted.
kind of thinking, redacted. I'm kind of thinking about going to, like South America. And my family's like, don't go to South America. Plus all my friends and stuff. And I think it'll be fine. But they're like, you didn't love Southeast Asia. Like, you'll see how it goes there. But I think it'll be better. We'll see.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
So you, what was I gonna say? Oh, creepy travel. You just talked about your creepy Bali experience.
Yeah.
What was like your favorite? Oh no, we already did ask that question. I want to hear
Favorites?
another funny story.
Yeah, what's the funniest thing that happened?
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I just
Oh,
want more.
I have an
want any
embarrassing
story,
story.
that pops in your head. Yes,
Oh,
please.
absolutely. Share it.
Okay. I'm so excited this is going on YouTube. So there was one time that, you know that friend that I told you about that I met in Australia? Like, the really, like,
Yes.
crazy guy? So we went, fire spinning together. Oh, gosh. This
You
is
went
such
what?
fire spinning. You know, like, where you get, like, the stick and, like, fire dance, whatever. You're, like, spinning
I
it
thought
around
you
with
said.
something.
I thought you said fire spitting. I was like,
I also
how do
thought
you
you
fire
said that
spit?
too.
That would be cool. I think you put alcohol in your mouth and then you blow for future reference.
Ew.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I'll try that someday.
Okay, but so I was, we were doing like the fire spinning or whatever, and he had taken me on one of his tours the day before because he was a tour guide, and we went to like the rainforest and we were like now I can't speak, swimming in like all these water holes and stuff, and so because of that, he saw that I had an outie belly button and he made a comment about it at one point, and I was like, don't look at my belly button, whatever, and so then the next day when we were fire spinning, this guy like came up to join us, and then we are like, yeah, sure, why not? And so he was like able to like fire spin for a bit and stuff. And so while he was fire spinning, my friend Caleb was like, so like you had an outie belly button, like can I look at it? But I was wearing a maxi dress, and I was like, no, like I'm wearing a dress, I can't just like lift my dress up. But he brought these like his roommate's underwear because like he like had dampened it, you know, like that's how he's gonna put the fire out and stuff. And I was like, well, like these boxers are pretty much like shorts. Like I'll just put these on. That's fine. And so I did that. And then I showed him my belly button. But then literally like 2 minutes later, the police showed up and they're like, hey, like you guys are in a park. Like you're not allowed to be fire spinning. And Caleb was like, okay, fine. Like I'll put it out. But then he's like, okay, Rachel, like, give me the underwear. And so I was wearing the underwear. And so I had to take it off and hand it to him. And then as we were leaving, he was like, the cops had no context for why you just took your underwear off. Like, it looked like it was the underwear I was wearing. Like, but it was because I was, and so that was so embarrassing.
Had he never seen an outie belly button before?
They're not that common.
Really?
Do you have an outie belly button? Do either of you guys have an outie? No, they're not that common. It's an anomaly. Plus, I feel like I draw more attention to it, too, because I'm always like, look at my belly button. I don't know. So that's how that happened.
Proud of your outie belly button?
No, I'm embarrassed, but then
You should be proud.
Thank you. It's one of those things.
I wonder what percentage
rare.
of the world has outie belly buttons.
Are you gonna look it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could Google it.
Let
Are you
everyone
Googling it?
place your bets first. I'm gonna say 8%.
I'm gonna say 10%.
Okay, well, I
It's
can't
awfully close to
place my
guess.
vote because I already Googled. Outies are simply an example of normal human variation, like the way some people have
Look at
curly
you.
hair or dimples. When the tip of the umbilical cord's remnant pokes out past the skin around it, you have an outie.
Ugh.
About 10% of people have these.
Hey, heck yeah.
A
You guys are pretty close.
Also, it described each of us. Rachel, you have the outie. I have the dimples. Abby has the curly hair.
Oh, cute. I have dimples.
Oh, you're right. Well, you have two rare things.
Thank you.
You're just a rare girl.
My high school sports med teacher told me I was like a poster child for recessive genes. I don't mean to brag. Because I also have
That's a wild thing to say to someone.
I think you need to write that down as like one of your fun facts in life. Like, I am the poster child for recessive genes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be what I start telling the people.
My question though is an outie belly button. Is it a gene or is it just the way the doctor cuts your umbilical cord?
I think it's the way they cut your cord.
It's not
Okay.
a gene.
Just another
So
anomaly.
you know what? What if doctors all got together and just said, "Let's make this next generation outie belly button"?
Bro,
Can
what
you
doctors
control
do
it,
we
though?
know? I feel like you can.
I know a nurse.
But like, do we know
She works with the mother babies.
Oh.
On the mother baby unit.
So you
That's
really
perfect.
do.
That's perfect. That's our
So
in.
what if we start it? The whole next generation is outie belly buttons.
I like it. I'm all about it.
All right.
Cool.
Interesting.
Abby,
get
you
on
in? Abby's dad's a doctor.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he doesn't work
golly.
with like he doesn't work in the
But
maternity.
he
ward.
knows. He's
knows
got to know
doctors.
them.
True. Maybe he would know people.
My mom's a nurse.
I think we could get this going.
Oh my gosh, we got
We can
parents
get this going.
everywhere.
we can get this going. Golly.
Okay, what else fun? I feel like you've got so much more, and I just want to know everything.
Oh gosh. I remember how I said I was going to prepare for this. I didn't
And then you
fully prepare
didn't?
my fun stories. Let me think. I know I have a couple. When I was in Munich, it was actually kind of cute because I went there for the Christmas markets, and then I ended up meeting two people from South Africa. They didn't actually know each other, but they just like were both there. And then someone from Peru, and one of the guys had never seen snow before, and so we had a cute, wholesome little day at the park, which was really lovely. We like built snowmen and had a snowball fight and did all these like little snow things. So that was fun. Our snowman was
That's so cute.
abysmal. He was so scary.
So in your stuff, did you pack like winter stuff and summer stuff? You had to carry that all with you, or what
Nope.
did you do?
it was tough because I went to Bali. I was like, it was so hot there. I was like, well, I don't need my summer clothes or my winter clothes anymore. So I got rid of every single one of my winter clothes. And then I was only there for 3 weeks. And then I was like, well, frick, that's a bummer. And so then I went to Greece. But thankfully, things are really cheap in Greece, actually. So I got my winter coat for 15 euros. Euros are pretty close to dollars.
Oh,
It was
wow.
maybe like $17. I got a pair of jeans for $3. I already had a pair of leggings. I think I kept one. And then just like a couple t-shirts. So and a pair of boots for 15 euros. So I redid my whole wardrobe for like 15 or 50 euros. And then I went home
Oh, wow.
for Christmas. And so, which is good because then I only had summer clothes. So I was able to sub it out with my winter clothes. So,
What made you like keep traveling after Christmas?
well, it was that I was
already in your plans.
Yeah, I was going to be traveling until end of March because that was when my sister was getting married. My plan was to travel until St. Patrick's Day in Ireland, which I went to. But it was like Christmas time, and I was like, dang, I can't believe I'm missing another Christmas. And especially because I was at like the Christmas markets and stuff, it was like a big bummer. And then I was like, well, I could go home for Christmas. And I found flights from Paris, like literally 3 days before the flight and like 4 days before Christmas. They were like $600 round trip, which is like, that's really not bad, especially for like 2 weeks at home. And so
That's
I
good.
did. Yeah, so that was awesome. And so I just ended up going home for a week. I was in Chicago and then in Michigan, both for a week. And then because it's also hard when you're traveling, you like meet so many people and then like keep saying goodbye to them. So you like have to keep making friends every couple days, which is like, I love people, but that gets like really tiring sometimes. And so I was just like ready for a break. So yeah. And so that was perfect. And then I came back and then like my 3 months were like super easy because I knew I was like going home again, you know?
Right.
So, yeah. And then that was nice, my second half of my trip, because I got to visit friends that I had already made when I was traveling. So, like, I saw a bunch of friends when I was in the Netherlands, and then I had friends, like, in the UK I got to see and stuff. And so that was good, because it was, like, I was meeting new people, but also, like, I was seeing people I already knew, which made it a lot less difficult to like meet people every couple days.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool.
I wish that was something that my personality was more geared towards. Like, I think that would be the coolest, most fun experience. But I just know that I don't have that in me, and I'm
I
okay
feel like
with
you would
that.
love it. You could totally rock it.
I could. I totally could if I really wanted to that badly.
Yeah.
But I don't think I want to badly enough to like actually do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm more of like, let me go travel for a month in the summer or something like that,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, a
then
year
come
and a
back.
half is a long time. It's
Yeah.
like I'm really grateful that I did it and stuff, but like I don't know that I'll do another long trip like that probably.
Right.
Unless
Did
it
you
was
get
like
homesick while you were there?
not too bad usually, but it was just like especially when it was like always making new friends. And then there was like sometimes my friends would do things at home and I'd be like, "Oh, I want to do that with you." And everyone was like,
Mm.
you know, people were saying the same thing about me, which is fair. But like at one point, my friends went to the
Right.
Smoky Mountains, and I was like, I want to go, and they're like, you're literally in Europe or like wherever I was, you know. So, but I was like, oh, so it was good. It forced me to get over my FOMO.
What about like culture shock? Was that a big thing for you, or did you just go with
Um,
the flow?
I'd say the biggest one was for sure like Southeast Asia, because a lot of the other places I went to were more westernized, so they were pretty similar. Um,
Okay.
Southeast Asia, I think I especially had a hard time because like you can't drink the water, and then like the food is like what I had the hardest time with because it's like I wanted to be
Mm.
adventurous and like eat the food, but it's like really easy to get sick, especially if you eat at like the local like warangs and stuff, the little restaurants, because
Yeah.
that's where you get the local food, but that's like where it could be kind of dicey, like they might wash stuff in water or like you know stuff like that. So that's probably the biggest culture shock I'd say. And then in Australia, they don't really wear shoes.
Oh.
Oh, like ever?
Well, like in cities and stuff, like the towns I lived in, they were barefoot so much of the time, which I actually really vibe with. So I was barefoot a ton when I was there.
That's so funny.
It was cool. My feet,
Like even if they go to the grocery store, are they barefoot?
yeah, sometimes. I worked in a restaurant and I
Wow.
watched my manager walk through the kitchen barefoot while they were mopping. It's probably the grossest thing I've ever seen. And that for sure
Oh.
wouldn't have passed safety codes, but it's Australia, so it's like
I
whatever.
Wow.
I love hearing about things that are normal to people, but not normal to me.
Yeah.
Do you know
Right.
what I'm talking about? Like,
Hmm.
here we wear shoes all the time, but like that experience of seeing people without shoes would be so weird to me, but to them
Yeah.
it's normal. Like,
Yeah,
that's
especially
funny.
at first was like seeing people like walk back because like there's broken glass and stuff, you know, like I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and like especially because people would like come into our restaurant barefoot, and it's like I know for sure like we've broken glasses, and like you try to clean it up, but there's like slivers of glass, like I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
So I'm all about like being barefoot on the beach and like the rocks and stuff, but yeah,
Right.
restaurants I would never do that. Yeah, but it is fun, especially learning about other cultures too. I like just like the things they talk about even because I met this German guy and like Americans are like pretty open and stuff, and especially because I worked in compensation, I'm always like, tell me what you make, what do you pay in rent and stuff, which is like that's pretty. You probably shouldn't ask that, but I'm like, oh whatever. But so I was asking him all about like what he made, like what he paid in rent and stuff, because I don't know what it is like in Germany. And then like later on, he was like, yeah, so like I would never ever ever talk about this stuff with my friends, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry. So
That's
lots of
funny.
culture differences.
But did he actually answer all your questions?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Sounds good. So I can tell you
That was good.
what a boat maker makes in Germany
Oh.
Oh.
if you ever need to know.
Do you feel comfortable sharing that?
Yes, I guess it's. I think you said like 3,000 euros a month or something,
So if I wanted
He's a
to be a
boat
boat
maker?
maker,
something like that. He like worked on boats and like boat repairman or something.
oh,
Oh.
Maybe there's a translation issue.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know. Some kind of boat
I
guy.
wouldn't be able to do that job, so.
No, me neither. You had to climb like really high on the sails and stuff. That sounds horrific.
Oh.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great
Yeah.
to me.
I got a question.
Okay.
Maybe this is more of a wrap up question. I don't know. But
Cool.
what is your advice to people that want to travel?
Ah, yay. That's such a good question. I think the biggest one is just go for it and like being open, especially like I think everyone should travel solo. I think it's so cool because like if I travel with my friends, we never branch out and like talk to people, you know. And it's so awesome to travel with your friends. But it's like I've met people all throughout the world, and I never would have met them if I'd been traveling with other people or like not in the same capacity, really. Um,
Right.
and also, I don't know. It's like not really as hard as you think it is. Like, because at first it was like really overwhelming a bit when I like got to Sydney. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to like go meet friends and then like figure out how to get from the airport and stuff. And now it's just like kind of second nature, but it's because it's pretty much the same everywhere. Is like everyone's looking to make friends when you're solo traveling, and then like airports are pretty much the same. It's just like you get off and you look for the bus or the train in the town. At the end, I wasn't even looking up how to get to the hostel until I got into the town. So yeah, you like get better at it as you go.
That's so fun.
It's so fun. It's cool.
Wow. I'm glad we got to hear all about your experience because
Yes.
I have seen pictures, but I wanted to hear so much of your like fun stories
Yay,
and all the
so
fun
cute.
things.
Yes.
And
Sorry, I didn't prepare more stories, but the next time we hang out, I'll tell you guys more. I'll think about it.
yes. I don't know. This was just fun.
This was
This is
fun.
so
Thank you for
fun.
inviting me to your podcast. I feel so honored. That was so cool.
Yep. Thanks for joining us and being
Yeah.
willing to do this.
Yeah.
What should our farewell be?
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Oh. We can.
Oh,
Oh, that would be
that's
cute.
so cute.
Well,
yeah.
let's say like thanks Rachel for joining us today.
And then do
and
we
then-
all say peace out, Girl Scout at
Oh,
the same
yeah.
time?
Let's
Yeah,
be
okay.
really
Are we
cheesy.
ready? Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Rachel, for joining us today and answering all of our questions about your travels.
Yes, you're welcome. It was so lovely to be here.
For our audience, join us again next Tuesday.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
I feel like we gotta do that again.
We gotta do it again.
Okay. The whole thing, or are you going to edit it, Abby?
Oh.
We can do it all again.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Rachel, for joining us and telling us all about your travels.
Yes, for sure. Thank you for having me. It was lovely to be here.
For our audience, join us again next Tuesday.
Peace out.
Is someone gonna count down?
I was
Do
waiting
you want
for
me to go
Bailey.
like 3, 2, 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you add these
Okay,
all
okay.
as bloopers?
We totally could at the end, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Rachel, for joining us to talk about your travels today.
Yes, definitely. It was so lovely being here. Thank you.
For our the disappointment.
Sound of defeat.
I did because
Are we
were
starting
so
again?
Ready.
Okay, Abby, get it together.
I know.
Well, thank you, Rachel, for joining us today and talking about your travels.
Yes, thank you for having me. It was so lovely being here.
For our audience, join us again next Tuesday.
Peace out,
Peace
Girl
out,
Scout.
Girl
Girl Scout.
I think we need to set the tone.
Golly.
Golly.
Gosh.
This is going to be the best outro we've ever had.